Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's session, we are going to get the tour of Orchestrator new user interface. So, as you might aware that UiPath Orchestrator is the key component of RPA UiPath platform. With this application, we can easily deploy and monitor the productivity of robot and scale it. As a central dashboard, Orchestrator gives you the control to deploy and monitor your digital workforce in cloud and on-premise. So this was all about Orchestrator. And this session is intended for the people who are into RPA and struggling with a new user interface of UiPath Orchestrator. Also, this session is intended for the people who are new to RPA and wants to know about the component of a orchestrator, which is robot, environment, queues, assets, etc. So let's get started without any delay. So to start off, we need to navigate to our orchestrator services. And UiPath is providing easy navigation in this new user interface of orchestrator. And most of the orchestrator actions are either folder based or tenant based. Means when you go to the particular folder, such as default, which is a classic folder, then you can find a different set of entities in the orchestrator. And if you go to the tenant level, you can find a different set of entities of orchestrator. So let's have a look at these entities at a tenant level. So at a tenant level, you can find the robot. So robot is the entity on which our automation runs. Then folder enable you to maintain the control over automation across the entire organization. And as you might aware that there are two types of a folder. One is classic and other one is modern. So we can create the folder from here and we can provide the name of a folder and we can select the type of a folder. So the main difference between modern and classic folder is that in a modern folder, robots are getting automatically provisioned, and in a classic folder, we have to provision the robot manually. So we can select the folder accordingly and we can create it. Then next one is users. So user is an entity with access dependent capabilities on assign access rights. For example, admin user who has all the access to all orchestrator component, and we can also add the user from here. Then comes the role section. So role page enable you to manage the user permissions in orchestrator, and we can create the role from here. And we can assign the tenant permission or a folder permission to a particular role. So we can assign, view, edit, delete, or create permission for any particular component of orchestrator, and we can assign this permission, this set of a permission to the role. Then we can assign this role to any particular user to access that particular component. Then comes the machine. So machine page enable you to provision and manage the machine. And further, we can use them to connect UiPath robot to orchestrator. Then comes the package section. So package allow you to view all available version of package along with their arguments and release note. We can view from here. Also, we can download any package for particular version. And we can also upload one or more packages from here. Then comes the ML skill. So ML skill page will show us the ML skill that is deployed using UiPath AI Fabric. Then comes the audit. So audit page display the audit for the action performed by all entities in orchestrator. We can also export the audit from here. Then comes the credential store. So credential store is the secure storage from which we can retrieve the robot credential when needed. Then comes the webhook. So webhook enable you to integrate your UiPath automation with your application. Then comes the licenses. So licenses shows the detail about licenses and their usage. Then comes the alert section. So alert are the notification related to the robot queue item, triggers, jobs, process, and task. So these are all tenant level entity. So let's have a look at the folder level entity. So at a folder level, under home page, you can see the overview of your few entities such as process, assets, queue, trigger, robots, and job. So the next one is automation, and under automation page, you can find process, jobs, trigger, and logs. So process page enable you to deploy the uploaded packages as a new process and manage the previously created process and keep all your processes up to date with most recent package version. And from here, we can create the process. Also, we can directly start the job of desired process from here only. So we can click on start job and we need to select the process name and it will start the job. Then job page represent the execution of a process on UiPath robot. So we can simply run the job from this page. Then trigger. So trigger page enable you to execute the job in a pre-planned manner, either at regular interval or whenever the new item are added to your queue. So we can customize our trigger accordingly. Then comes the log section. So log page display the log generated by a robot in all the folder that you have access to. Also, we can export the log from here. Then comes the robot section. So basically it will allow us to create the robot of type standard or floating, and it will also show the robots available on our orchestrator, and also it will show the type of robot. Then also it will show the environment on which it is assigned, then the status of robot, and so on. Then comes the environment. So environment is basically a grouping of robot that is used to deploy the processes. So we can create the environment from here and we can group the robot under any particular environment here. Then comes the monitoring section. So monitoring is nothing but the real-time monitoring of orchestrator entities. Then comes the queue. So queue is the container that allow you to hold the unlimited number of item, and from this page we can create a queue and we can add the data to the queue. Then comes the asset section. So assets are usually shared variable or a credential in your workflow, and we can store the specific information in asset that is easy to be accessed by any robot. So we can create the asset and we can store the value and we can assign it to particular robot as well. Then comes the storage bucket. So storage bucket is basically used to provide per folder storage solution. Then comes the testing. So under this page, you can find a lot of entities such as test sets, test cases, test execution, schedule, and data queue. So test set represent the grouping of any number of individual test cases, and the test case page provide a global display of all your test cases across your project. Then test execution displays your previously executed test set and their details. Then test schedule. Test schedule enable you to execute the test in a pre-planned manner. Then comes the test data queue. With the help of test data queue, we can provide our test data to the queue in a JSON format. Then comes the action catalog. So action catalog are the action container where you can categorize your action based on various criteria. So basically this entity is related to the UiPath Action Center. And this was all about the entity at a folder level. But when you select the modern folder, you will not see some of the entity, which is robot and environment. This is because we cannot provision a robot in modern folder. So this was all about each entity of a orchestrator or each component of a orchestrator. Also, UiPath has provided the facility to reverse to the old design. And to do that, we can simply go to this and we need to click on go back to old design. And our old design get reversed. Similarly, we can switch back to the new design as well. So we can do that by clicking on try new design. Also, UiPath is providing the facility to customize our user interface. So suppose I go to the automation, and under the process, we can see the columns such as name, package name, version, job priority, type, and description. So I can customize this user interface, and I can remove or add the column from here. So to do that, I need to click on this column section, and suppose I don't want to display the description, then I can simply uncheck it. Also, suppose I don't want to see the type, then this is how you can customize your UI, and you can display whatever columns you want. Also, suppose we want our user interface back to normal, let's click on reset. So it will get back to the default display. So that's all for today. I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned with me for more such videos. Till then, happy learning.